Hey, what's going on, guys? It's me, Aiden, from Cartoon Apocalypse, and welcome back to another Miraculous Ladybug news video. Now, today we have 3 pieces of news that are separate from each other. If you want to skip around to all of the different time codes in different sections, the time codes will be down in the description below, as always for you, so you can skip around. As always, if you want to stay updated on all of the news, I highly recommend that you leave a like and subscribe for more content similar to this, because I will update you whenever we hear new news. Now, the first thing we're going to talk about today is some new teasers of Adrien from the movie. Now, as I'm sure everyone knows, everyone is really wanting to see what Adrien is going to look like in the upcoming Miraculous movie. And that's pretty much all the comment section has been on my videos and Jeremy's Instagram posts, and basically wherever there's something mentioned about the movie, there's also something mentioned about wanting to see how Adrien looks, right? So Jeremy knows this, and he sent a couple small images of Adrien just to get the fandom hyped up and to, I don't know, I guess get us excited for it, because, you know, we can't see his face or anything, but they are there so that we can see, like, hey, Adrien is sort of a thing that we're going to be seeing here soon. Now, obviously, Jeremy has the actual image. He's just teasing us because that's what he likes to do. So, yeah, there's that. We can expect to see a full version of Adrien probably within the next couple of weeks. So whenever that is, I will try to update you. Probably, like, I won't make a separate video on it probably, but, I mean, it'll be grouped together like this is right now. So yeah, just wanted to put this in here because it is something new, and I thought you guys would like seeing it. Alright, so the next thing we're going to be talking about is a new concept for LadyLion. Now, for those of you guys who maybe did not see the last video, there was a new superhero announced for a probably new special. We don't know, it hasn't officially been confirmed, but it could either be an episode in seasons 4 or 5, which is very unlikely because those are pretty much all written now, and we're just now seeing concepts for this new character, so I don't know. But it's more likely that this is for a new special. Like, this is probably the 4th special, which it's not officially confirmed, but it's probably going to be a 4th special. Plus, this special is going to be taking place in Africa, and specials typically have the characters going to another country. For example, the New York special, they went to America. The Shanghai special, they're going to China. Brazil, they're going to Brazil. So this is likely going to be an African special, and so everyone's just super excited. Everyone was super hype about this character, and so Jeremy came out and released this new image, and this new image actually looks really good. I love the background, the lighting, everything about it, super great, and it just makes me more excited to see more about this character. I want to know what her powers are, her hair, like, that's super cool. I don't know, just everything about her I want to learn more, because she just seems like a really cool character. Like, what do the markings on her face mean? I don't know. So that's gonna be cool. In the video where I talked about this initial release and announcement, I go into more detail, so if you're interested in hearing about that, you should go check out that video. So moving on to the final, and in my opinion, the biggest piece of news today, because while it's very vague, I feel like I've come up with a very good idea as to what it is and what we can expect. So Jeremy released a very interesting image, and it was a photo of a Paris concept, but it was destroyed. Like, Paris is under attack, there's fires everywhere. It's really crazy. Like, we've never seen something like this before. And so it made me start thinking, like, what is this for? Because he never, typically in the tags, we can determine what a certain thing is for. So typically, if he has hashtag LadyLion, for example, that typically indicates that it's going to be a special that has this character. Like with Lady Dragon, he used hashtag Lady Dragon and hashtag Miraculous World when describing it, the exact same hashtags he used for LadyLion. So it's very likely, again, I guess sort of going back to the LadyLion, it's sort of more likely that it's going to be a new special. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is he usually is pretty descriptive in his tags, but this time he only puts Miraculous World, and Miraculous World typically goes towards more specials, but this is obviously taking place in Paris, and typically, you know, the specials go somewhere other than Paris, and, you know, we've already had another special confirmed outside of the 3 that we already had confirmed, so this would, if this was a thing, it would be sort of at the beginning of a special, because the special's main plot takes place, again, in another country. So this could just be very insignificant if it is for one of these specials. But honestly, I don't really think it's for a special. I think he's being purposely vague because he could just put, I don't know, Miraculous Rio, for example, although I don't think he's ever used a tag sort of similar to that, but I don't know off the top of my head. I personally think this image is for the movie. Why? Because it looks like the climax. It looks like a climax point. And if we're being perfectly honest, there have hardly been any episodes that have gone to this extreme. Now, Cat Belong is obviously one of those episodes, but in everyday episodes, we don't see this. He typically doesn't release images on season 4 and 5, so that it just makes me believe that this is either for a special or for the movie. And I just, this doesn't feel like a special thing to me. This feels like the movie. Now, you could argue that, oh, he didn't put the movie tags in there. Like, whenever he talks about the movie, he typically has the movie tags there. But I think if this is the climax, he wants to be pretty secretive, right? Now, the big thing that makes me think this is for the movie is actually a theory I thought up after seeing this image. So some of you may know about the original PV that came out for Miraculous Ladybug that sort of like leaked on YouTube. I'm going to be talking about it, so if you haven't seen it, I recommend going to go watch it. It's like 3.5 minutes. It's not very long. Just go watch it because what I'm going to talk about makes a whole lot more sense. So assuming that you've already seen it, there's a very defining thing about that PV that it really confused me, and it's confused me this entire time because the PV feels a lot more like a movie, for example, and particularly for the end of the PV, because it shows us sort of this big battle sequence between, oh, it's Ladybug and Cat Noir versus Gabriel, the final villain, and Gabriel, and then also like the akumatized victim, sort of. Now, obviously, I'm making a lot of assumptions with that, but from what I could see, it felt a lot more like either a singular episode or just a singular piece of media in general, possibly even like a multiple episode story arc, for example. It didn't really feel like a long TV show, especially considering what Miraculous is now. It definitely did not give me vibes like that. Now, in the PV, we actually get very similar energy as this Destruction of Paris photo that Jeremy just released a couple days ago. It's like the end of the world feeling in that PV, which I think is a part of the reason why a lot of people were so disappointed that we didn't end up getting to see anything like it, because, you know, it felt so dramatic in the PV, and it was like, oh, it's a big battle. This is a big battle scene. It's like season finale or something like that, you know, like the climax of a movie, for example. And I mean, I've already hinted at it enough, but what if the movie is taking the original PV's idea or plot and putting it into the movie? I don't know, that sort of makes sense to me. And because think about it, right? The movie is Jeremy's version, so it's not even really canon. It's just, you know, a completely different telling, you know? And we know that Miraculous has come a long way since the original PV. So, for example, the PV features Felix. I don't think we are going to be seeing Felix in the movie. I'm pretty sure it's just going to be regular old Adrien as we know him now. But it is interesting because the PV has changed so much into what it is now. But if Jeremy just liked sort of the concept behind the original PV and maybe the few episode specials of the PV, is it too much of a stretch to say he just used that sort of basic idea where it's, you know, there's Gabriel akumatizes a couple different villains during one period of time, which we see in the PV. We see the pigeon, we see the mime. I don't know if there was another one, but it's mostly just the pigeon and the mime. And so, you know, we see those two villains there, not together, but we see them present in the same PV. So what if it's just sort of that same idea, and we know that, you know, that's sort of what the movie's gonna be about. It's like a retelling of multiple episodes. So what if he just took a couple of the same villains from season 1 that we already know, but uses them in a different direction in the movie and combines them all together, and basically Gabriel creates this army, and it creates this doomsday that we see in this image, and it's Ladybug and Cat Noir versus all of those villains, and finally Gabriel, and then Gabriel, I don't know, maybe gets defeated, maybe not, I don't know, just sort of depends on what they do with the movie, but that's sort of my idea on this, and I think it'd be really cool because I really sort of want to see how the PV is played out, and that sort of like questioned me, like, is this like the season finale, or is it just more like a movie, or is it a couple episodes in like a story arc or something? So if this theory is actually going to play out in the movie, I'm really excited because that would sort of give us some closure to the PV, because a lot of people were really disappointed that, you know, the PV never went anywhere and things like that. So I think that'd be really cool. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, because obviously this is just a theory and my ideas might be completely different from yours. So if you completely disagree, I'd love to know why. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say about this. That's my main idea about that. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for this video. If you did enjoy, you can leave a like and subscribe for more content similar to this, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.